The sound of the suitcase wheels on our driveway was my only goodbye. No hug, no wave, just the grating roll of my mother leaving me behind. She stood in the doorway, a silhouette already gone. "You're independent now, Sydney," she said, her smile bright and brittle. It never reached her eyes, which were already looking past me to the taxi. "You're not a baby anymore." She pressed a single, crumpled $20 bill into my palm. "Just order food if you need to." Independent, her word. To me, it meant forgotten. The fake kiss on my forehead was dry and quick. Then she was gone. The taxi door slam, the final click of our front lock. The silence that rushed in was so heavy it pressed on my chest. I was 11. "I will be fine," I told the empty hallway, my voice swallowed by the house. But my hands shook. I stared at Andrew Jackson's stern face. This was my plan, my babysitter, my lifeline for a month. I shoved the panic down. If independence was what she wanted, she'd see it. Day one, I would prove I could handle it. The pantry inspection was grim. 2 intimidating cans of beans, a cereal box full of dust, a jar of sinister pickles. The fridge held a half-gallon of milk and something fuzzy in the back. I lined the cans up neatly, as if order could create food. The fear was a trapped bird in my ribs, but I covered it with fierce, childish determination. She wanted maturity. She'd see what it looked like, starving and alone. Because that 20 was already vanishing in my mind. The food would run out. The silence would thicken into something darker than loneliness. And when she finally returned, tanned and full of stories, what she'd find would crack her plastic smile. It would make her whisper, "No, this cannot be happening." Part 2. The crumbling fantasy. The first crack appeared quickly. A shiny credit card sat on the counter. "For emergencies," she'd tossed out. Hope flared for 1 second. I found out it was a lie standing at the door with my phone, trying to order pizza. Declined, declined, declined. The robotic voice on the helpline said it wasn't activated. A PIN was needed, a PIN I didn't have. So it was just me, an 11-year-old, a dead card, and the 20. Day 1, I played a grim game. I became an artist of scarcity. Bread sliced translucent thin, peanut butter spread in a ghostly layer. This is what survivors do, I thought, eating standing up. They make things stretch. By day 3, the game wasn't funny. The hunger became a fog in my brain. Dizziness hit when I stood. The house didn't just creak, it listened. I blared the TV to drown out the quiet. I opened my mom's laptop, her work emails stacked up like a wall. These were more important, a voice hissed inside me. Then I saw my notebook. I grabbed it and wrote 2 words at the top, pressing so hard the paper groaned. Evidence. Underneath, day 1, left alone, 11 years old, $20, no food, no check-ins, card dead. Writing it down pinned the swirling terror to the page, made it real. If I was old enough to be alone, I was old enough to document the crime. This wasn't a diary, it was a record for a future where someone might ask, "What happened to Sydney?" I picked up my phone, opened the camera, and whispered to the lens. Day 3. I'm still alone. I ate the last decent thing yesterday. I swallowed hard. If you're seeing this, someone finally asked. I saved the clip. Part of me hoped it would never be seen. A bigger, angrier part wanted it on the big TV when she walked in. The witness arrives. By day 5, the hunger was a constant gnawing. I found fossilized pretzels at the back of a cupboard. I ate them one by one, a solemn ritual. I opened the notebook, added, day 5, no call, no text, head hurts. Then another line written almost without thought. If I disappear, this will prove it wasn't my fault. That was the pivot. The moment my brain stopped thinking, how do I survive, and started thinking, how do I make them see? On day 7, a strange energy fired through my weakness. I was a ghost at the front window. Outside, kids rode bikes, a dog chased a ball, parents laughed. A world with a safety net. I looked at our empty driveway. You chose Europe over me, I rasped at the glass. Do you know what that's going to cost you? The doorbell rang. The sound was so violently foreign I froze. No one rings the bell. It rang again, then 3 sharp official knocks. Rap, rap, rap. Fear said hide. The new, hardened part of me thought, what if this is the witness? Hand shaking, I cracked the door open. Mr. Hughes, the school counselor, stood there in his jacket with the school emblem. Hi, Sydney. I've been trying to reach your parents. Can I come in? Every instinct screamed to lie. They're at the store. But my hand loosened on the door. I stepped back. Sure, I guess. He entered the tomb-like silence. Suddenly, every detail screamed. The single bowl in the sink, the bare counters, the one shriveled apple, an accidental crime scene. Are your parents at work? They're in Europe. For a weekend? For a month? His eyebrows shot up. And who's staying with you? This was the line. I could still jump back, invent a fun aunt. Just me, I said, the words naked in the air. They said I was old enough. His face changed. Gentle concern solidified into something grave. He pulled out a chair. It scraped loudly. Sit down. The truth takes shape. How long have you been alone? A week, almost. Do you have enough food? Money? A bitter laugh escaped me. They left a dead credit card and $20. He stared, measuring a dangerous crack in the world. This is not okay, Sydney. You know that, right? I shrugged, a hollow gesture. They said they needed a break, that I'm mature. And how have you been handling it? I wanted to say fine, but my eyes flicked to the notebook. Evidence. I've been hungry, I said, the truth tearing out. And scared. I've been writing things down, just in case. Just in case what? Just in case something happens to me, so no one can say they didn't know. He leaned forward. Leaving an 11-year-old alone like this, it's neglect, Sydney. There are laws. There could be an investigation. Consequences. Consequences. A cold, hard marble of a word. Consequences, I repeated slowly, for what they did to me. He nodded. For what they did to you. Images flashed, my mom's smile shattering as strangers filled the room, her trying to explain my notebook, the empty shelves. Do you want help? He asked, quietly, the kind that makes sure this never happens again. I hesitated. The scared girl wanted to slam the door on it all. The girl who counted crumbs was just tired. Yes, I said, but what does that mean for them? It means they will have to answer. Adults will finally see what you've seen. I looked from his face to my notebook. A cold calm was settling over the panic. Then help me, I said, my voice steady. I want them to see. Building the case. He made calls in the hallway. Fragments floated back. Alone. 11. No food. I traced the word on my page. It was now a shield. He returned. Your neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, is coming. So is a caseworker. But first, we get you food. Shame warmed my cheeks. Underneath it, a spark glowed. If they were checking on me, they were checking on them. Mrs. Johnson arrived. Her kind, sharp eyes took in the scene instantly. Oh, Sydney, why didn't you come to me? Because I didn't want to look weak. Asking for help felt like failing their test. She put a hand on my shoulder. Asking for help is survival. Sometimes it's the only way to make adults face what they've done. We sat. I talked. The rolling suitcase, the 20, her laugh, "You're my little adult." Mrs. Johnson's mouth tightened. Mr. Hughes' pen flew. When the caseworker, Miss Lopez, arrived, I asked, "Can we show them this?" pointing to my notebook. "Yes," Mr. Hughes said. "Keep writing. Everything, so they can't twist it later." "So I can protect myself with the truth," I murmured. Protect myself with the truth. It sounded like revenge. It felt like strength. Miss Lopez walked through the house. Her professional gaze cataloged the emptiness, the barren fridge, the few wrappers, the shiny dead card. Her silent absorption was more powerful than any gasp. Her questions were simple. My answers were damning. A month. No one checked. One selfie from Paris. That was it. Later, I slipped my phone out. I recorded the empty fridge, the official bag on the chair. "This is what she'll walk into," I whispered. I was no longer just a victim. I was an archivist. Miss Lopez explained the new reality. "You'll stay with Mrs. Johnson. We'll contact your parents." I looked at my neighbor's kind face. I thought of the silent, hungry nights. Then I thought of my mother's return to this. "Yes," I said. "I want to stay somewhere I'm not invisible." Part 6. The Calm and the Storm. That night in Mrs. Johnson's warm, vanilla-scented house, my mind was a war. Fear versus fury. Loneliness versus safety. We went shopping, a deliberate act of restoration. Pasta, sauce, fruit. "Keep the receipts," Mr. Hughes said. "They show what wasn't here." The receipts joined my notebook. More evidence. As we cooked, Miss Lopez asked, "Do you want to say anything to your parents? We can include a statement." The words came hot and clear. I wrote, "You said I was mature enough, but mature doesn't mean I don't need food. It doesn't mean I don't get scared. You told everyone how hard you work, but you didn't notice your kid counting crumbs. If there are consequences, it's not because I betrayed you. It's because you left me." I slid the paper to her. "Make sure they see this." "I will." The temporary peace broke with a phone call. My mom's number. Her voice was sharp, not worried. "What did you tell them? Do you know what this looks like for me?" The old Sydney would have crumpled. The new one held the phone steady, speakers on. I told them the truth. "You're exaggerating. You're ruining us." Mrs. Johnson leaned in. "This is about safety, not reputation." My mother's final hiss. "We will talk about consequences when we get back." The line died. Her old lesson hung in the air. Actions have consequences, Sydney. Now I would teach it back. The reckoning. The day arrived. We staged it in the heart of the crime scene, our kitchen. On the table, the case file, my open notebook, my phone paused on my day 3 video. We heard the car, their travel-weary laughter. My legs trembled. Miss Lopez touched my arm. "You are not alone." The door opened. My mom entered, her smile already forming. It died. Her eyes darted, from the strangers to the notebook to me. "What is this?" she demanded. The formalities began. My dad tried to laugh. "A misunderstanding. She's mature." Miss Lopez presented the evidence, the dead card record, the pantry photos, the barren call logs. His face paled. "We trusted you, Sydney," he pleaded. "You trusted me to survive," I said quietly. "You didn't trust yourselves to be parents." Miss Lopez nodded to me. I picked up my phone, pressed play. My smaller, terrified face filled the screen. Day 3. I'm still alone. The camera showed the wasteland of our kitchen. My mom choked. A hand flew to her mouth. "No," she whispered, the word tearing out. "No, this cannot be happening." But it was, and it had been happening for 7 days while she posed in front of monuments. Miss Lopez delivered the verdict. "This is neglect. An emergency order is in place. Sydney stays with Mrs. Johnson pending a hearing." My mom shattered. "You can't. We needed a break. You don't understand our stress." I looked at her, finally seeing me not as an accessory, but as a consequence. I used her own lesson. "You always said actions have consequences," I said, my voice steady in the storm of her tears. "You taught me that. This is what your choice looks like." The fight left her. She crumpled. "Sydney, please, we can fix this." I looked at the evidence on the table, at the people who had seen me. I felt the ghost ache of hunger. "I want to be safe," I said. "Right now, that's not with you." Epilogue. There was no jail sentence. There were classes, therapy, supervised visits. They lost the effortless right to my life. The greatest consequence was the fractured story. She could no longer be the flawless mother. My evidence, the videos, the notebook, the report, saw to that. At Mrs. Johnson, I learned to cook more than spaghetti. I learned needing help isn't failure. I learned the most powerful revenge isn't screaming. It's the quiet, relentless power of the truth, documented and undeniable. When my mom texts now, wanting things to back to normal, I understand. There is no back. There is only forward. On that path, I will never again be the girl left with a $20 bill and a lie. I am the girl who turned hunger into evidence, fear into testimony, and neglect into a lesson she never meant to teach. So I ask you, if you were the child left behind, would you stay silent, or would you let the empty shelves in the silent phone become your proof and let the truth have its final, devastating word?